So in today's video, I am bringing you 8 different affordable lip oils. I don't know about you, but I have definitely seen that lip oils, though they're not a new product category, I have felt like they are starting to trend right now. So I decided to pick up 8 different ones at an affordable price and just let you guys know what I think about these formulas. Another weird thing about tinted lip oils, in my opinion, is that every lip oil tends to have a very drastically different formula. Some truly do feel like a thin lip oil, some feel like a lip balm. So the category of lip product is definitely mysterious. But in today's video, I'm going to hopefully shed some light on all of these different affordable lip oils so you guys can better tell which one is going to jive best with you. And I'd also, before we jump into this video, like to acknowledge that yes, I am wearing pajamas. Yes, I am drinking a matcha latte. No, my teeth are not naturally green if they do become green throughout this video. No, it's not the morning. It's actually about 6 o'clock. My body really wants to go to sleep, but I'm just like, you gotta stay awake. Guys, so let's first start off with a tinted lip oil from e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. tinted lip oil. Retails for $6, super affordable. You get 0.10 ounces of product in here and it comes in 8 different shades. I happen to have the shade Berry Kiss. It's a really, really gorgeous berry shade. I find that the e.l.f. tinted lip oil has a really nice texture. Definitely what I would expect from a lip oil. It's super thin. It definitely has the slip of a lip oil, but it's never going to make your lips feel greasy. I tend to prefer a lip oil that isn't super greasy because I don't want to worry about a lip oil product kind of getting outside of my lip lines, collecting in certain areas, and just looking messy on the lips. This formula is really nice because it never feels greasy, but it's still thin enough. Also, application is a breeze. It really applies well onto the lips. I don't really have an issue with the way this applies at all. It has a really nice glide to it. I don't like the doe foot applicator of this product. It kind of has a little scoop to it that I find is a little bit difficult to work with, but it is doable. One thing that I really love about this lip oil, probably my favorite thing about this lip oil, is the way that they incorporated the pigment into this formula. So it has a really beautiful translucent quality. It shears out over the lips, but you can still sort of see the lips through the tinted lip oil. This is how I prefer more shiny lip products to look on the lips. It almost gives them that sort of translucent jelly looking pigment. I personally find it to be incredibly flattering, and it also just gives a nice subtle sheen to the lips. Very healthy. There's absolutely no off-putting fragrance. If anything, it's just kind of like a light vanilla scent. It wears really nicely, and as you continue to wear it, it doesn't leave a residue behind once it's started to fade, which is another thing that I'm not a huge fan of lip products that do that. Some in this video do that. Overall, I find it to wear really prettily on the lips. I actually think that this would be a great alternative to a classic lip stain, especially this color. With a lot of lip stains, you know, they're not the most comfortable lip products out there because they do tend to have a very thin, sometimes drying formula to them. And this will really give you a pretty stained effect in a more nourishing formula. And it will give you a little bit more sheen, which I personally think tends to be more flattering. Overall, this actually is quite reminiscent of the Roen liquid lip balms. And if you're new to my channel, that is a product that I've been really enjoying lately. It is more on the pricey side. I think this texture is a little bit more thin compared to that one, but the way it sort of glides over the lips and gives the lips that kind of translucent jelly pigment, I personally find it to be very, very flattering. It makes the lips look bigger. It makes the lips look healthy. It's a very comfortable formula. As a whole, I would definitely consider this to be one of my top picks. Next up, we have a new lip oil that has released this year, which is the Covergirl Clean Fresh Tinted Lip Oil. They come in 5 different shades. I have the shade Fresh Squeezed. You get 0.11 ounces in here and they retail for $10.49. This is absolutely one of those lip products that when I think of a tinted lip oil, this is the formula that I personally think of. It is very thin and it truly does have a lip oil texture. You can tell that with some formulas, they don't incorporate as much actual oil into the formula. They might include more like emulsifiers. This has a very true oil formula. Very, very thin, but they've used a combination of oils that don't feel greasy on the lips. It feels nice and moisturizing. Weirdly enough, my applicator came a little bit banged up, which I don't really mind, but Oh, by the way, this has a really incredible scent to it. It reminds me of like a fruit roll-up or like berry candy. It's pretty delicious. It's not too sweet though. I also don't like a lip product that smells too sweet. As for the way it applies really easily and evenly. What is good about the doe foot applicator is that it doesn't pick up too much product at once. It doesn't really soak up a lot of the oil, so you can really shear it out and kind of build up this lip oil. And that's what I would recommend doing, because this actually does have a really nice pigment to it. It's more of like a lip stain, in my opinion. This to me is kind of like a tinted lip oil lip stain hybrid. It really gives the lips a sort of like just bitten look. It does have a little bit more translucence to it, but the formula itself is quite thin. It's not as thick as something like the e.l.f. tinted lip oil that we already talked about. You can tell that they added more like true emulsifiers to that. This really is a very thin tinted lip oil with quite a bit of pigment, and this actually will leave a stain behind on the lips, which makes it really good if you want more of a long-lasting color. In my opinion, it wears really well for that reason. I have to say that overall, I think this formula is really great if you're looking for another alternative to a lip stain product. I don't think you get a ton of shine with this, and the shine will sort of dry down a little bit as you continue to wear this. But as a whole, it's just more moisturizing than the typical lip stain. It'll give you that really pretty like popsicle lip look. But next, let's talk about what I think might be my favorite affordable tinted lip oil. Out of all the ones that I tried, I was incredibly impressed with this formula. And it's a product that I don't think a lot of people talk about whatsoever. It is the Chapstick Total Hydration Tinted Lip Oil. It's actually what I had on my lips today before I chugged half a matcha latte. I could not be more happy with this lip product. They retail for $5.99. You get 0.24 ounces of product in here, which is actually quite a lot of product. It's actually almost double of a lot of the product that you get in some of these tinted lip oils. And it comes in 6 different shades. When I purchased mine, I had only seen the shade Subtle Pink, but there are 6 different shades, and now I'm like, honestly, I kind of want to try other shades. But the one thing I really adore about this product is the texture. It truly feels kind of like a liquid lip balm texture, but you can tell that there are some lip oils in here because it's not incredibly heavy on the lips. It's actually incredibly comfortable. And another thing that I really like about this is because it does have a little bit more of a liquid lip balm texture, it actually fills in the lines of the lips. That's something that other tinted lip oils do not do because they're just so thin. The formula can't really fill in the lines of your lips. Because this does have a more creamy texture, it will get into the lip lines and just make the lips look so healthy. And because the texture is a little bit thicker, it also has some really nice hydration to it. I tend to find this formula to be the most hydrating. Application is super easy. It comes in this little squeeze bottle. This is definitely a no fuss lip product with application. This Subtle Pink shade is really spot on. A great Your Lips But Better shade if you have a lip shade close to mine. Really great, incredible shine that doesn't look too glossy. And it also has a really delicious smell. It smells like watermelon. Yeah, it definitely gives me like watermelon bubblicious vibes. I'll wear just like a normal lip balm though, so you don't have to worry about it kind of migrating on the face. This one definitely stays put and it just locks in the moisture on your lip. For me, I definitely see this as one of the ultimate like everyday throw in your bag lip products. It is actually hydrating, so if you need a lip product that is going to repair the lips, this is one that will actually do something. The color is gorgeous. It has the perfect amount of pigmentation for me personally, because you're not gonna get the weird butthole lip where you can tell where the color starts and stops. Just the ease of use, how it just looks good every time. I always say on my channel, those are the products that I always truly recommend when they're the ones that I'm going back to consistently. They make the lips look good consistently. They're really tying together a makeup look and making me feel pretty. You know, those are the makeup products that I love and always recommend to you guys. So this is definitely one of those. Now, next up, let's talk about a product that I feel like is just a total dupe for the Clarins lip oils. They are the Ulta Beauty Juice Infused Lip Oils. So there's one that is is more tinted, like a true pigment product. And then there are some that are more translucent. They retail for $9.99. There are 5 different shades, I believe, 5 or 6, and you get 0.15 fluid ounces of product in here. So I personally bought the shade Sweet Rose, and Sweet Rose, as you can probably see, is not a rose shade at all, and it actually does not look the same as it did on the Ulta website when I bought it. So just be mindful when you are choosing a shade online that the shades might not be the most accurate. So this texture is incredibly similar to the clearance lip oils. It has more of a gel oil texture, definitely more on the thick side. You know, a lot of the lip oils that we talked about earlier were very thin. You could barely feel them on the lips. This is absolutely not one of those products. This has quite a thick formula, and this one definitely has more of a tacky sort of feeling on the lips, similar to what a gloss would have. So again, some other formulas much thinner, can't necessarily feel it on the lips. This one you definitely will be able to feel it on the lips, and it will give you a slight tack if you were to press your lips together. Nothing that's super uncomfortable, but I did think it was important to note that. This finish is absolutely gorgeous. It has that really super juicy shine to it, and it applies very evenly over the lips. It really envelops the lips, and I kind of call it, to me, it's like the raindrop effect. When a raindrop falls on something, it will just coat the lips and give them that really ultra reflective and wet shine. Which, by the way, just as a side note, I never found that the clearance lip oils filled in the lines of my lips and gave me that super wet looking gloss look. I actually found that sometimes they would be a little bit unflattering. So as for application, very similar to the clearance, very easy to apply. The actual formula and the way it looks on the lips, I actually think is better. Really gives you like incredible, juicy, wet looking shine. I know I've said that a few times, but I can't even stress it enough. If you don't want it to look like you have a glossy lip on, this is definitely not the one for you, but if you love that look, this will 100% give it to you. As for the smell is not my favorite. It actually does smell like the clearance lip oils, so if you're okay with that scent, you'll be fine with this one. It's just a slightly sweet rose scent. I just don't like rose in my lip products. I won't not wear this because of it though. Overall, I think if you're seeking a lip oil as a more nourishing alternative to a gloss product, I think that this is one you should definitely look at. And when this wears, it will wear similarly to a gloss. It will leave behind a slight bit of residue, like that tacky gloss residue. So if you're looking for a lip oil that will kind of just sink into the lips, this one will wear really nicely, but it won't just kind of disappear. It will leave a little bit of that tackiness. This is definitely one that I would totally recommend. I'm actually kind of interested now in the tinted lip oils with more like true pigment. Next up, we have a lip oil from NYX, which is the #This is everything lip oil. It's actually on sale right now for $3.99, and you get 0.27 ounces of product in here. So you get a lot of product for a small little tube. I believe there are 5 different shades. I personally have the shade Sheer Blush. This texture is thin. It has a slight balminess to it, but it's not too oily or too thick on the lips. It's a really pleasurable middle of the road texture that I think most people will really enjoy. Personally, in a lip oil, I find that that subtle creaminess really will transform a lip oil formula and just make it more wearable and more easy to use. I actually find that this lip oil is quite unique. When you apply it, you don't necessarily see a lot of product sitting on the lips. It doesn't look like a lot of lip product, which honestly, I think that is a really underrated look. To me, there's a real beauty in the lips looking like there's no product on them, but somehow just looking healthier and more hydrated. To me, this is a very like kissable lip product, if that makes sense. Sometimes you just want your lips to look healthy and fresh, and you don't want them to look like there's product on them. It has a really subtle, flattering sheen as well. And this is definitely more of a sheer pigment product. Super natural, very easy to wear and apply, and it will wear like a normal lip balm. So this is a throw it in your bag, apply it as you go product. Super effortless, and this also does make the lips feel comforted when you apply it. So because it has that subtle creaminess to it, you won't feel a lack of moisture. It's incredibly affordable too because it's on sale right now. I think that NYX did a really, really awesome awesome job with this formula. Next up, we have the Burt's Bees Tinted Lip Oil. They come in 6 different shades. You get 0.04 ounces of product in here, so you get really not a lot of product at all, and they retail for around $7 to $8. So as a whole, if you're looking at this product price per ounce, this is very, very expensive. It is a click up pen. It's especially nice because, you know, you hold the applicator, you have a little bit more control if you don't have a mirror. So as an everyday sort of no mirror lip product, I do think that that's helpful. I find the texture of this to also be quite lightweight on the lips. You're not going to really feel this once you have applied it. There maybe is like a slight balmy quality to this. You don't necessarily feel it going on. It will give the lips a little bit of slip, a little bit of comfort, but it's truly quite lightweight. I personally bought the shade Caramel Cloud. This does not have much pigment, and I'm not sure if other shades are different, but at least this sort of nude shade definitely is a light pigmentation. So I wouldn't necessarily call this a pigment product, but it does apply really well. This is actually a really beigey light nude shade, and those tend to not look incredibly flattering on me, but because this is so sheer and the formula is so thin, I actually do think it's flattering on the lips. It's subtle, it's pretty, and it won't look awkward if you do have cracked or chapped lips. It wears very similar to like a normal tinted lip balm, but as a whole, I just don't think that this is one of my top picks. The way it looks on the lips is nice. It's flattering, but it's not something that makes me feel super pretty when I apply it to the lips. There are just those certain lip products with me that just make your lips look healthy. It makes them look fuller. It makes them how you wish they always looked. And for me, though, I appreciate that it has a thin formula. I appreciate that it has a nice sheen. I just find the formula to be a little bit underwhelming. Next up, let's talk about the only stick lip oil that I have. It is the Color & Care Lip Oil in Stick from Almay. It retails for $6. You get 0.09 ounces, so you don't get much product, and it comes in 6 different shades. I actually have the shade Sweet Escape. It's a pretty tangerine shade. This is certainly an interesting formula. It really goes on just like a lip balm would. I don't know if I would necessarily call this a lip oil. This is definitely thinner though than a typical lip balm or a tinted lip balm. It's not too heavy, it's not too oily. This is definitely what you see is what you get sort of product. To me, it feels a little bit bare bones. It has a really natural finish. It'll apply really easily, just like a normal tinted lip balm would. It has some nice subtle sheen to it. It has a little bit of pigment. This shade in particular isn't my favorite because it does have shimmer throughout, which is my bad. I didn't realize that there was shimmer in this shade. Shimmer in a lip product this thin, I don't think is necessarily the most flattering thing. It kind of just looks like there's glitter all over the lips without any color or without the lips looking healthier, if that makes sense. The wear time is just like a normal lip oil. It will leave that shimmer behind when the color has faded. So that's again not my favorite thing about this product. I don't know if you guys can hear the ice cream truck. I apologize if you can. It's actually taking everything in me right now not to go out there and get some, but the sun is setting and I need to finish this video. I would be interested if you guys have tried these in another shade, what you thought about the formula, because I'm not sure I can give this one like a wholehearted review without trying one without the shimmer, just because the shimmer is so off-putting to me. But if this didn't have the shimmer, I personally feel like I would probably just find this one to be a little bit underwhelming. It doesn't do a lot for the lips. And lastly, my friends, we have a true wild card. So I mentioned in the beginning of this video that when you're getting a lip oil, you're not necessarily sure of what kind of formula you're gonna get. You could get something like the Ulta Beauty one with a ton of gloss, a ton of shine, or you could get something like the e.l.f. tinted lip oil that has a really sheer, translucent, and more thin, like jelly quality. So the formulas are kind of all over the place, right? But I don't think anything could have prepared me for this wild card formula. It is the NYX Slip Tease Full Color Lip Oil. It retails for $7. You get 0.13 ounces in here, and it comes in 12 different shades, so it's definitely the largest shade range out of all the products today. I have the shade Low Key, and it's a really nice dusty rose shade, so totally up my alley. Bear with me here. Listen to how this formula is. It is completely full pigment. Your lips will not shine through this product whatsoever. It has a nice slip to it, and it goes on, again, full pigmentation. And once it's applied to the lips, it starts to set down to a more powdery finish. So just hearing that, what does that sound like to you? Does that sound like a lip oil product? This is not a lip oil. In my opinion, what this formula is it's a matte liquid lipstick that they have incorporated oils into to make it more comfortable. So this doesn't dry down completely transfer proof, but it is pretty budge proof for sure. It applies great. I mean, again, the pigmentation super even. The oils that they incorporated into this give this a nice slip, and it's not one of those liquid lipsticks where you apply it and then it kind of sucks all of the moisture straight out of your lips. This also definitely has a staining quality to it, which I wasn't necessarily expecting. This definitely will stain the lips as you continue to wear it. So at first I wasn't necessarily a fan of this just because I wasn't expecting that formula, but having tested it more, I actually think this is a really pretty formula. Now, definitely not close to anything that we've talked about earlier in this video, but if you're looking for a very long wear lip product that gives you a very pretty, like, blotted lip look, this will kind of fade to more of like that blotted lip color look, which I actually think is really pretty. It wears really well. If you're just like having drinks, it fades perfectly. Though I do think that the product is a little bit misleading, I actually really like it. I just think if you went in store though, you would be a little bit misled by this. So I did want to still include this into this video to hopefully be super helpful for you guys if you were looking into this. But as a whole, I hope that you guys really enjoyed today's video. And if you did, definitely make sure to give this video a thumbs up. You guys know that for my videos, I like doing these roundups because I just want them to be a resource that you can go back and look at. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.